Hey everyone, welcome to Answers to Bible Questions ABQ. My name is Evelyn, and with me is Kayode Crown, a friend and a founder of Christ is King Publications and Ministries. Sir K, you're welcome on this show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be with you on this show.
You're welcome. Um, let's look at the jiving in church these days, the vibing, the extra other things we had to programs in church. And the particular one I want to mention is this song, music, performances, and all that about special. They are bringing a special artist to church to give a song ministration, some of which are not even, we are not sure whether they are part of the fold. And having a dance drama, having choreography, having stuffs in the church. What do you think about this? Are there spiritual, you know, engagement or that, or we just want to put them in our program so that people can feel the vibes of social life being brought into the church? What do you think about this?
When you look at the Bible and you look at the concept of church, right? The Bible says the church is the pillar and ground of truth. That means things has to be done deliberately, carefully, and in a focused way. Just as it's not just any message that should be preached, just as it's not anything that should happen in the name of God. God is not like co-signing every and anything. We should not make it seem as if God is co-signing every and any kind of thing. So that's one. Two is the place of art when it comes to the church. Artistic displays, when you want to boil it down to the bare minimum, you know that singing is an art form. And we're supposed to sing and make melody in our hearts to God. It's something in a way that is pleasurable, right? It's something enjoyable. So, in a way, we can say God is not anti enjoyment, God is not anti what is pleasurable. But if we are not focused on the message being passed, then we are already lost. We're already getting out of the way into the wrong thing. We need to be focused on the message being passed. But the attitude that is focused on the message being passed will be careful about what you are calling jiving. Because once you begin to call it jiving, that means the message is lost. The focus is now not the message, the focus is the extra stuffs. And that is dangerous. We see people, because there was no thunder coming from heaven, decided that they were going to do exchange in the temple, and Jesus Christ drove them out of the temple. We should begin to give you a picture that not anything goes. Paul wrote to Timothy, said, I'm writing to you so that you will know how to behave yourself in the household of God, which is the pillar and ground of truth. So let's be careful not to turn it into a disco party. Let's be careful not to turn it into a dancing club. Let's be careful not to turn it into a social, not to make it trendy, not to make it trendy, not to say, let's image the world. People can come here for it. They don't have to go to the party. They will come there for it. That means you are programming them to love the world, right? And so they will still come for it. They will still go to the party. What is stopping them from going to the party? And we're told to not love the world or the things in the world. There are some things that are in the world. We are not supposed to love them.
Love dancing. My God, I love dancing. I love listening to music. Sometimes I don't even care if I know the lyrics. I just want the sound. I want to just be high. I want to be blown off. I want to just boom
That
for
is
some
good.
time.
But you know, Paul didn't say this is what must happen everywhere. He said, look, this is how you should behave yourself in the household of God, which is the pillar and ground of truth. We need to think of it differently than we think of other contexts. Because even when it comes to the body of Christ, the eating of the bread and the eating of the blood, Even when it comes to that, I say you need to properly design the body. Let's say, oh, I like this music by mention the normal, neutral, popular, secular artists. Does that mean I should invite the person to come and speak on the
Drugs.
10 minutes, on a valuable 10 minutes of people that will come there for 2 hours on a Sunday, and I'll give him a 10-minute slot just because it's something I enjoy in my car?
Okay,
Does
so
that mean
let's
I should
let's
now copy
let's
and
let's
paste it? I'm
let's look
saying
at this
it
thing.
has to be approached differently.
Let's look at it. Someone once say, or let me say, it is believed that Christianity is a way of life, right? It's your total whole way of life. We don't have to see it as, oh, it's a special religion. We have to see it like, this is me. I am for Christ, right? But there are things I do. Although I have my reservations with that, I'll tell you. But now, if this is what I do, should I now come to church and pretend as if, no, this is church? Should we separate it? This is church. These are things we do in church. We don't have to dance as if we were in the disco party. We don't have to dance. We don't have to behave as if we were at the other side. But even those other sides too are part of our life. That does not mean we are sinners, right? You can go to any eatery, you can go to any restaurant, you can visit a park and music will be going and you enjoy your life. It's okay. But now I don't have to come to church and pretend as if I don't do all stuffs or I don't do all other things aside this holy presentation that I
Yes,
that
you
I
have to
bring to church.
pretend. You have to pretend because that is what you are there for. Not anything goes. You have to pretend it
Because I once had
because
an
you are
argument with someone that said, oh no, if you I got to a point that I
pretending,
asked that,
quote.
okay, why do we call this place church? Why do we not, why do couples, or why do we not say, since I can be naked in my washroom bathing, then I can come to church and after all, I don't have to pretend. Why do we have designated places for designated things
Yes,
like
yes,
that was the argument.
yes.
Because if you're saying, I don't have to pretend, God knows this is me. I want to be nude. I want to be natural. So somebody that is still dealing with the addiction of smoking will still bring cigarette or to church and say, "This is me, God, see me, finish. This is how I am. I cannot pretend." So that was why I asked that in church, is it like there are things that should be done because this is the house of God. Our body is also the temple of God, but this is church. And for the sake of other brethren, let's have this thing done
Let
properly
me
this
let
way.
me read First Timothy 3:15. Let me begin from verse 14. I hope to come to you soon, but I'm writing these instructions to you. So it requires special instruction. It's not as it is doing you. It's not free for all. It requires a careful outline of some special instructions. He said, in case I'm delayed, to let you know how people ought to behave themselves. That means there's a way to behave yourself. Ought to
You're right.
is not, that's not my normal self. There's no normal self. You do what you are told. If you go to school and you do what you are told, you sit down. There's no normal, you think you know your normal self. There's no your normal self. It doesn't exist. You go to school, you sit down. You go to your workplace, you dress in a particular
Yeah.
way, you have to appear. There
Thank
is
you.
no it's
Because
me. There's no I like to
thank
wear
you very much. This
slippers.
exactly was the argument. It prolonged the argument. Like it was a long thing, really. Because they were telling me that you can wear anything. God sees you the way you are. You don't have to wear certain clothes to church in pretense. And I said, so in the first place, if you accept the gospel and you are convinced that those things are not actually meant for church, then you should cut down on your excesses and do the right thing, right? But don't come and tell me that because you wear bomb short, for instance, to a disco party and then
Or
you want to come and bring it.
to the beach.
Yeah, you're swimming. Thank you,
Or to the
because that's
beach.
even not this. Going to swim, right, is not a sin. So if you wear your swimming trunk and you want to bring it to church because this is the way I am, God should accept
Or
me the
this is
way
what
I
I
am. I don't
like.
have
We normally
to lie.
know, we naturally know that we live in consideration of others, and we want other people to live in consideration of us. Anyone, somebody's coming near our gate and bending down to do the number two, we feel there's a proper place for that. Even though everybody does number two, but you instinctively know that this is not the proper place for this. Why? Because you need to have a consideration for me. So also have consideration for others. That is like basic stuff. So he's saying, in case I'm delayed, to let you know how people ought to conduct themselves in the household of God, because it is the church of the living God. It is not free for all and bulwark of truth. Did you see that? So there has to be a focus on that. And another point that I believe we need to pay attention to is what Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians chapter 14. 14:6. He says, he wrote, now, brother and sister, if I come to you speaking in tongues, how will I help you? That means everything has to be seen from the point of view, how is he helping others? How is he helping others when it comes to the outward of faith now? How am I helping you?
It's not
Unless
a
I
gathering of
speak,
people. You are
yeah,
not
it's a
there.
gathering of people.
Yeah.
It's not your
Not about
bedroom.
people now.
Not your bedroom is not
Not
your
about
corner.
people are
He
there.
said,
You're right.
how will I help you unless I speak to you with a revelation or with knowledge or prophecy or teaching? That means the thinking has to be, is it helpful? He said everything is lawful, but not everything is helpful.
So
That's
you're
what
right.
Paul wrote somewhere else. So what is done in the church has to be thought of in a different way. It has to be like examined and thought of differently. It's not a pub. So don't sit, come in church chatting with each other all throughout the service. It's not a hangout with
Because
your
you didn't.
friend.
Yeah.
What I mean is that don't
Even for
sit
husband
down
and
and be
wife,
talking and be
things that
talking and
husband
be.
and wife do. You can't ask them to come and be sitting on each other's lap in the church or come and be doing hugging and all that in the
There's a
church.
place
Yes,
for
we know
that.
you
It's
are
just
couple.
the
We know
Paul
you
will
are couple, but
say
then
nature itself teaches you these things. Common sense in a way teach us these things. Paul in another place, 1 Corinthians 14:26. What should you do then, brothers and sisters, when you come together? It's a different thing. It's like official now. You have come together. When you come together, each one has a song, has a lesson, has a revelation, has a tongue, has an interpretation. Let all these things be done for the strengthening of the church. So we need to ask ourselves the question, am I pleasing myself, or this is going to serve to strengthen the church, right? That's the point, right?
you're right. But as per the choreography and the special presentation, the dance and all that, the question is, why should we still allow this? Do we think it will help the youth to stay in the church rather than looking elsewhere to get the fun and the excitement? Or do we think it's kind of spiritual? It's kind of help lift our spirit? Do we think it's kind of a way of engaging the children, like, yeah, engaging them to just to remain in church? I don't know. Because yeah, it's one thing to engage them and make them continually stay in church. It's another thing to make them feel that whatever they are looking for outside, okay, they can see it here. For those people that are not involved already, but that are like, I love seeing this, I love them, I prefer to go to the and to see them at the party and all that. So they want them to remain. Or is it an entertainment part of the service, or is it spiritual? I don't
That's
know,
a
because I see
challenging.
people do that. And like, what's the message here?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Mm-hmm.
it the song they played me? Is it the dance steps? Is it what exactly are we to gain from here?
That is a good
Because
point. And the fact that you are even questioning it should raise a powerful red flag, and that we should watch out for it. There are some practices somewhere in which once you are like a little bit older, like you're not like a kid, you sit down with your parents in the church and you
mm,
listen to the same word that your parents are listening to, right?
um,
They don't have like youth church where some other things are happening, or a children church, bunch of other things happening. So you're not having like three different churches. It's one church, multi-generational. There are older men, younger women, everybody, one family. Because everything in a way, I see it as you're passing a message. Some things are just done just for practicality. But when you look at it more deeply, you want to ask yourself, you want to find out what message are we passing across now? That, oh, you just children, you can't understand big spiritual things, so let's put you in one corner. Or you just children, the
Make
only thing
you
you
the
you
opposite
you
and
want, the only
opposite.
thing you yes, that the only thing you want, and they may be if they are 5 years old, they may need to go to daycare because they need some special care, right? Because they can't
Yeah.
even hear or stuff like that, maybe 3 year old. So the question is, what message are we passing across? So I'm going to tell people that, okay, this is how we can engage the children. Are you sure about that? Do you think they don't want to learn the scriptures? Is that what you think? Maybe they learn it in a different way, in a more engaging way. But you send them to school, right? And they don't do all those entertainment. You send them to school and they don't do all those extra things that you are saying you are doing. You go send them to school and you just sit down there and learn, right? And the teacher has to come up with creative ways to ensure they learn. Why should we think of the church and the children as different from that? Jesus Christ said, let them come to me. If you want to look at serious person, that's a Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is a very serious person. He doesn't have any entertainment to give you. But he's saying, let them come to me.
An
Don't
extra.
tell them away. Don't put them aside. Don't say they cannot undo it. Don't say they should only be given dancing. Let them come to me. Don't say they can't understand. You've been sending them to school. That
Yes.
means they can understand. They can
Yes. If
learn the
one.
truth. Yes,
They
yeah, learn
are.
it. I mean, yeah, we've been sending them to school. And they go through the school, they come back with assignment. But why do we want to make it seem like the church is not the church anymore for them? It's
Some
just
other
come.
aspect of life that school could not offer, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
some other
can.
aspect of life where you have all the social, every other thing put together. You're right.
Yes. Yes. So,
You're right.
but there can be a place for that. We should not then call it this is church. It's not church. It's something else, right? Because we know what the
If the
core part
church
of
has
church
kind
is.
of, can church have that kind of programs, special programs in quotes, to just engage the youth and do other flexible things that are not rigidly spiritual or religious stuff?
I guess it depends on the giftings that are found in, in the church, right? It depends on the giftings. But
Mhm.
to make it structural, meaning that this is what we do here, that is what I'm like drawing attention to. Somebody may have the
Because, yeah, I want to set an instance now. In my church, we usually organize a program on February 14th. It's a way of bringing people to youth, especially bringing them together, just to restrain them from wandering away, like going about on Valentine's Day, doing all stuff. We just want to, like, okay, rather than allowing them to just move about doing nonsense, let's give them a program. Let's try to come up with stuff that will engage them in church and make them see that, okay, love is actually love of God and love for God,
but
for yourself, and
but
for
it's not
others.
true. Love is a cultural phenomenon. Valentine's Day is a cultural phenomenon. Is
So we should allow everybody
and
to express
it's
it.
a powerful cultural force that you are in a way just you are just trying. Just I wonder what you will have achieved. I wonder the feedback. The person that wants to still do the all manner of things that the person wants to do you think the person will not still do that thing? You think whatever you've done
Words, really.
in
Don't you
place?
think it will help? Rather than saying, okay, it's a cultural thing, people can go about celebrating.
I
Even if you preach
think
that they should do, is it not better you engage them with more constructive
yeah, and
stuff?
that is like reactionary, and I warn against that kind of reacting to the world, making our programming about how we are reacting to the world makes it a big deal, make the world a big deal. But I feel we should have a kind of a platform where we can address it. We can address it maybe one on one through pastoral care and all that. Why shouldn't people go out and celebrate Valentine's Day? I mean, it's like some
Because we
other
know
kind of
when it's
holiday, maybe some other kind of holiday that people want to celebrate, right? That is the way to look at it, right? Another way to look at it is sin,
yeah.
right? It's okay. What if it
Yes,
leads
yes.
people to sin? So, but what if they are
Yes.
not Christians? Why are you bothering if they sin or not? And if they are Christians, that means they automatically have their allegiance with Christ. Did you see that? If they are not Christians, they are still going to
Yes.
sin. Doesn't matter what you do. If they are
But
Christian,
they
the
still
only
need to be
thing
taught, like all those younger ones. Don't you think they need to be taught? Because even if the younger ones say, okay, they are like, of course, children too, they will tell you, I love God, I love Jesus, is my, they confess it, right? They still need to be taught, hey, this is what they say they do, but as Christians, this, because
now if you do it
babies, like,
apart from the cultural moment called Valentine's Day. But so if you
okay, so that
do
we
it just
then,
because it is that day, it sends another message. That's what I'm saying. It sends the message that you don't really take it seriously. It's because you feel this thing is a threat to your power. That's why you are now bringing it up. But if that has been what you've been emphasizing as part of a normal life emphasis, and it's not like a fire brigade approach, and which, okay, they want to take away our people. Let's do something so that they will not take away our people. The people that will be taken away will be taken away.
taking
The
away
unbelievers
different
that the people that are not
decisions, yeah.
saved will not hear you. People that are saved need you to have been emphasizing that thing over time so that they are strong to resist temptation. And they are not just resist temptation, they are forces for good in their own right rather than reacting to evil. That's what I think.
So back to the main discourse now. The music and the ministrations and the extra other thing all should be what the message is it telling, right?
Was on the content. Let's focus on the content. You need to know that dance does not pass across any message. It doesn't pass across any message. It's a reaction. We are reacting to the sound we are hearing, right? No,
Dance, we can dance. David
it's not
danced.
passing.
Dance
I'm
so
saying we
much
are
that
reacting. It's not strengthening anybody. Your
was
dance
praising
is
God
not
and
strengthening
dancing.
me. You are enjoying yourself, but your dance is not strengthening me. And what we do in church, we need to
Oh my
strengthen the
goodness.
other person, right?
Your dance
So
may even be tempting me in the
tell
wrong
me,
way.
tell me, tell me.
Yeah.
That is a
Because you can't be
good
doing
point.
choreography and be shaking your bum bum. What am I supposed to gain? Why are you
Thank you.
shaking everywhere for me?
Thank you.
Well, if everyone to reason along with me, please put in your comment. Let's know what you think. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you, Sake, for the great insight. Please don't forget to send in your comments, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.
Bye. God
Bye.
bless you.